welcome to the Main Event Podcast, episode number 19. Jason Carter, Steve McCullum here in the beautiful Main Event Studios that are still under construction, but almost complete.
Yeah, we've started getting furniture now, so get some video out here soon of it when it's all done and all that fun stuff. So a lot comfier setting than the kitchen studios we were in.
Yeah, I like it a lot. We got to get that air vent pumping up in here, but
yeah, I should turn the air on before we started. But
yeah, it happens either way.
Now.
First episode in the studio. Make sure though you can follow us on the same handles on social media, on Twitter at The Main Event Pod, as well as on Facebook. Search us The Main Event Pod on there as well. You can find us. I know everybody's been kind of looking. We are also up online, so just type in themaineventpodcast.com. We'll take you right to our podcast page. But overall, check out gestaltproduction.com. They have a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of good racing videos. I'm getting ready to post some racing videos from this week as well. Where are we at with those, Steve?
The heat races are being uploaded actually as we speak. And then the main events will be up sometime tonight also, at some point tonight, depending on... The ASCS race was kind of lively, so it's a pretty big file. Pretty big editing process for that one. There's a couple red flags.
Few flips.
Yeah, a few flips. So,
couple jumps.
Yeah, there was so the ACS one took a little longer to edit and put together than we'd like, but it's going to take a little bit to upload. That'll be the last one that uploads tonight. But
we'll talk more about that on the Racing with Jason podcast, and we'll get into that exciting finish that Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson had at Chicagoland, my former stomping grounds. Anything else exciting happened this past Sunday, Steve? I can't think. I feel like something might have happened over there on the West Coast somewhere. It's this guy.
Are you talking about July 1st?
This guy left.
Rumor has it that some guy...
he's the king?
Are you sure he's the king? The prince? I don't know, but Lakers got another superstar.
Prince is definitely dead.
Oh.
Sorry, too soon.
Yes, yeah. I don't know. A year later. Yes, LeBron James finally decides, to nobody's surprise, to go to the Lakers for 4 years, $154 million, I believe is what it was.
Yeah, I think it was like a 153.3 or something like that. And they just kind of rounded up.
Specific.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. That's...
But he signed a 4-year deal, which he wouldn't commit to in Cleveland at all. But the interesting thing is he went with all the rumors. Paul George was going to go. Paul George decided actually Saturday that he was going to stay in Oklahoma City, which shocked a lot of people because he's from LA and he's been talking about playing for the Lakers forever now. That's why he got traded to Oklahoma City. He told Minnesota he wasn't going to play there anymore and go to the Lakers. But he stayed in Oklahoma City, and LeBron still stayed with the Lakers. Then the rumors were Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins, was going to, go to the Lakers as a free agent. He ends up going to the Warriors. So the Warriors now have an all-star at all 5 starting positions, unheard of in basketball.
And if you count some of the guys who are now riding the bench, who have been, former All-Stars, they have 7 All-Stars total on that team.
Yeah, that are the top 7 players that play. So, right. Yeah, basically, they're an all-star team. I mean, there's not basically. They are the all-star.
They are the all-star team.
They might as well just play like the rest of the NBA, so instead of East-West, how about just be like NBA versus Warriors this year?
That's what it should be, like Warriors versus the NBA. The next NBA game that comes out. Remember how they used to do like the old Sega games was like Portland versus Chicago.
Yeah.
And then you had like all the players except for Jordan. He was too cool, so it was number 23 in every game.
Yeah, I know, right? The thing I don't understand is so a lot of movements happening in the NBA if you're into that, but the Lakers get rid of their starting point guard and they bring in Rondo. Where was he with last year? Because I want to say Dallas?
He was with New Orleans. Actually,
New Orleans. Okay, that's right.
For a bit, and then he moved. I don't know if he finished out with New Orleans. I could be wrong. I mean, Rondo's been kind of a world traveler here the last.
He was in Dallas for a while, and then I think you're right. Pelicans.
He's the journeyman, I guess, right now.
So
the Kings. Wasn't he with the Kings for a while too?
It might be. Yeah, he was on the Kings. Yeah,
Rondo has just been everywhere.
But my issue is so LeBron James has led his team in assists like the last 7 years. Like even when he was in Miami, he was leading the team in assists.
Oh, he's with Chicago in between the Kings and Pelicans tenure. Jeez.
So there you go.
Guy hasn't been on a team more than 2 years.
Yeah. So and then they have Ball there, not LeVar.
Well, they have LeVar Ball there because that's the dad, and then they have Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo, there we go. They have Lonzo Ball as the point guard who likes to dish the ball, and that's his specialty. So then they get rid of the other guy who ends up signing with the Pelicans immediately. And then, so LeBron James handles the ball all the time, and now they have all these point guards there. It said the speculation was they were going to trade for, Kawhi Leonard and all that, and Kawhi wants to go there. He keeps trying to force his way, but he doesn't have the power right now, so either LeBron's playing there by himself or, just like he did in Cleveland, which doesn't make sense why you would leave Cleveland to go to LA to play by yourself. But after this year, there's so many free agents coming down the pipeline that people can go sign with him, so...
Yeah, I mean, eventually he's going to get there. I think, right now, the way it sits, the way this team looks, I mean, they'll be probably a 3 seed. Depends on how good Houston is this year. If they,
the Lakers?
Houston, yeah.
No, they're not going to be a 3 seed.
They can be a 3 seed in the West.
No.
Yeah. I mean, with LeBron, I mean, you're automatically in the top... You're automatically in the top half of seeding, regardless.
Okay.
So, I mean...
okay.
I think they're going to get 3 seed. What was the records of the teams? Who?
The Clippers are going to be down. They've traded a lot of their players this year. They're breaking them up. Dallas is awful. They got some players. They got some young guys coming in. Your boy coming in. You're excited
My boy
about.
Luka. I'm excited. So this year you had the Rockets, Warriors, Trailblazers, and Thunder were the top 4 teams in the West. Blazers and Thunder were way behind in terms of games back. They had 49 wins on the year.
Yeah, but
LeBron James gets you 50 wins.
Okay.
Even the Warriors look like crap this year. I mean,
that's what I was going to say.
That's because they had Curry out.
I mean, the Spurs sneaked into the playoffs, but they still fought, and without Kawhi, they still fought.
And that was like an older team. So
if they get rid of Kawhi and get some younger guys for trade bait in there, and whatnot, they're not gonna sink at all. But Oklahoma's going to be... You would think Oklahoma's going to be stronger this year because Paul George is committed. Westbrook's there.
Yeah, it's their second year together. It's just, I don't know. I always hear bad things about Westbrook, how hard it is to play with him.
It's funny. I heard a national show yesterday, Rob Parker on Fox Sports 1. I don't remember if it was his show or if he was on Colin's show. But he was talking about, and he was giving all the players that have rejected playing with Westbrook and that have rejected playing with LeBron, and it's not even close. LeBron gets rejected for players playing with him than anybody else in the league by a lot.
But do you think a lot of that has to do, though, with where they're at geographically? Like, there is nothing around Oklahoma City other than the Thunder. Like, that's all they have. I drove by that stadium, and I was like,
I know.
Wow, this is like super, like, rural shithole. And the NBA players are not like that. They're not wired like that. They have to be, like, somewhere big.
Well, it's chemistry, right? So, I mean, Sacramento was huge for a lot of years with Chris Webber and those guys. Chris Webber, his whole thing, and when he became a free agent before he went to Sacramento, was, I need soul food, I need this type of environment, for the culture and whatnot. And he still went to Sacramento.
So many demands.
So, they all want big markets, but what they want is they want stable, and they want to be able to play with other players and things like that. So, I mean, Paul George staying in Oklahoma City is a big deal because he's an LA boy. He wanted to go to LA. He's an LA boy. Everything about him says LA. I mean, he hated Minnesota because that was a small town, and then he's staying in. But that's his relationship with, Westbrook, and there's another big name there I can't think of off the top of my head right now. So the relationship, obviously, what kept him there. So look at San Antonio. My God, have you ever been to San Antonio? Oh.
I like San Antonio. I like the
Nothing
Riverwalk.
To do there.
I mean, the Riverwalk, it's a touristy town, by all means.
Oh, great. So you think the players just go hang on the Riverwalk every night to pass time?
Well, I think the players that, Pop got whenever, the Spurs were, so good is, I mean, they were all players who didn't really need, that kind of limelight in a way. I mean, Ginobili, he was never going to be that guy. Well, Duncan was never going to be that guy who's I need to go to L.A.
Well, they weren't,
huge.
shoe
deal. But these guys were just focused on playing basketball.
That's what they weren't huge superstars. Duncan was, but the other guys weren't huge superstars. They wouldn't have gone to the Lakers. Ginobili wouldn't have gone to the Lakers and been as successful, because his style was the team game and things like that. So they're just on the good team to play as a team, and they all bought in. So that's what I'm saying about Oklahoma City. Yeah, it's a podunk town that most players. I mean, that's LeBron's problem in Cleveland. Nobody ever wanted to play with. Nobody ever wanted to go to Cleveland to play. I'm not saying it's LeBron nobody wants to play with, which I think has some of it to do with it because he is so demanding. I mean, just look at his antics on the sideline. Like, the joke was after he went to LA was Tyronn Lue gets promoted and becomes head coach of the Cavaliers.
Finally, Tyronn Lue. I mean, I think LeBron said, "You know what, Lou, you're ready, so I'm going to leave," and he left him. That's why. I mean, gosh, what doesn't LeBron do? What doesn't LeBron do?
Well, I mean, he's coming to the end of his career. I know his stats and how great he was in Cleveland, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, he's coming to the end of the careers. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need to lose in the finals to validate his place as the best player of this generation. So he's got other business interests he wants to go do. So, he's 32? So 4 years will be 36. So this might be his last contract by far out there. So...
As my phone goes off.
Yeah.
Thanks to Wi-Fi. What is this? Why is my phone even connected? Why is my family calling me? Like, don't call me family. I just, declined you. Anyways, I don't even know why that's even connected on my laptop.
Good thing we can edit that out.
Yeah.
That's a good break.
No, we're not editing that out at all. That's just staying in there. Anyways. So, yeah. I mean...
Okay.
Maybe they wanted to talk about LeBron. I should have answered.
Yeah,
hey, what's up? You're on. Gosh, we got our first call in, and I declined him. I was like, nope, not having this one today.
So who else wants to call in and give your opinion? You should have asked them. You should have answered.
Should I post that on the Facebook? It's probably like, hey, thanks for the tickets. Like, he tried to call me the other day. I didn't answer.
Oh, could you
but I don't know. It's like two different numbers, so I don't know if that's my cousin or my aunt or somebody. I don't know who it is. My uncle.
Anyway, NBA free agent talk. A lot of movement going out there. A lot of small. The surprising thing is a lot of small contracts. Boogie Cousins, $5.3 million. Which I believe is his minimum, or close to his minimum, to go to the Warriors. So he went low. And then the article came out today that nobody else gave him a big enough offer, which you find really hard to believe.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, DeAndre Jordan got 24-1 from the Mavericks, and you're saying Boogie Cousins is only getting 5-3?
Well, he's coming off the knee injury, so maybe teams weren't offering big money right now.
I mean, he's still worth more than 5-3 off an injury.
I'm not disagreeing with that. My favorite thing about that was the first thought when they announced that was, why even play this season? Like, just play just pay all the players to stay home because the Warriors are winning.
The Warriors were gonna. Last Friday, the Warriors won. It was no surprise. Like the Warriors weren't gonna win.
But it's one of those things where now it's to the point where before it was one Warriors player gets hurt and it becomes interesting. Like the year that LeBron won it over him. That second year they played. Green got suspended and then whoever got hurt. Then it became interesting because of that. But now if one or two players get hurt, they still have 5 All-Stars, that can step in to take the spot.
Right.
It's becoming less and less intriguing if somebody gets hurt because it doesn't really matter at this point.
I'm just trying to figure out what Adam Silver has to do to make his league more relevant because the NBA is not relevant
but how do you stop it? The problem, because I know that's your rant. Like the East is good. Name a team on the East you're going to want to watch this year. Celtics, Philly because they're young, but then the Celtics because they always seem to be there. But other than that, name a team on the East.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
there is no
awful,
team
like
that you just get excited
even
about.
On the West, the way the Lakers are made up now, I mean, you're going to watch it because LeBron's there, but I'm not super excited to watch the Lakers right now.
I mean, you're going to want to watch, obviously LeBron's first game. You're going to want to see how he plays against, the Rockets and the Warriors.
But he's going to get
first couple games.
It's going to be the same format with the Warriors as it was in Cleveland. He's going to get blown out.
And then after that, I think the only other game I'm interested in seeing, obviously here in Phoenix, when the Mavs come twice a year, I'll go just to see Luka and Dennis Smith, see them guys, see opening night, obviously get excited, whatever, opening night basketball is back. But other than that, I'm not getting too excited when it comes to basketball.
But how does Silver stop it? It's the Players League, and they're playing within the CBA, and players are taking less to go. How do you stop Boogie Cousins from taking less for 1 year to go to the Warriors to, one, get a ring, but two, he's probably wanting to prove himself because he is coming off a major knee injury. And he kind of has a bad rap, from Sacramento. But how do you stop that from happening? You can't stop a guy from, if anything, the union's bad because he took less money to go.
Right.
How do you stop that?
You got to somehow figure out a way to get 30 superstars on all 30 teams and then go from there. I don't know how you can do that, but that's what we got to figure out. Because it is kind of getting ridiculous. Well, I mean, it's been ridiculous for a while, but now it's just like,
I thought a
Really?
counterpart in Cleveland, right? They're paying J.R. Smith like $13 million for the next 2 years. God, the other guy that I'm forgetting his name right now is making $12 million for 2 years, and he barely sniffed the court this year. So they could have brought in big name superstars and gone after him, but they signed LeBron's buddies. So now they're stuck with him for the next 2 years at a high price because nobody's going to take those contracts. The Clippers had a big three that they tried and it failed miserably. Portland's always got big name players there that they're trying to do, and they just can't get over the hump up there because they have to go against the Warriors all the time. So that's what I'm just saying is I don't know how you solve it. They're playing within the rules. You're raising the salary cap, and players are taking less to go places. I mean, Houston, did that wink nod to Chris Paul to, hey, come here, and we'll give you the max next year, and they just signed him for the max. So I mean, it's. So it's Chris Paul, the same guys, except for Trevor Ariza, who's now with the Suns. But I don't know how you stop it. If players are willing to take less. Remember when A-Rod wanted to go to Boston and he offered to take less on his deal to go there? And
Boston, New York.
No, he was almost signed with Boston. He was going to take less to go to Boston. And the MLBPA said, you're not taking less because you're going to set the precedence for other players to do it. That's how he ended up in New York. So the union got in his ear.
Well, he got traded to New York from Texas, and then New York released him, only to sign him back 3 days later on a bigger deal for 10 years or something.
Just go back and read about how he wanted to take less money to go to Boston, and the union said no. That. So, but that's the only way. That's the only way to stop it is to.
So I found a tweet. I don't know if this would work or not. This might work. Clay Travis, he tweeted about it, and he said, solution to bring back parity to the NBA. Every team gets one player they can pay outside the salary cap at a market rate. So LeBron can make $100 million or more. That way, in theory, the top 30 players will all end up on 30 different teams. Then you just salary cap the rest of the players.
But owners won't pay that. That was my point with Dan Gilbert and... I'm trying to think of the other, like the Pelicans, they have Anthony Davis, but who else are they paying? And the other problem with the NBA is one player you can't win with one player. Never in the history of the NBA have you won with one player.
That's why you get the one player, and then you go get, the filling guys.
Because, teams like...
you look at that team that the Mavericks won with, man. It was Dirk's team, but you had Jason Kidd, who was a solid player, but coming up on the end of his career. Same with Jason Terry, the Jet. He was kind of just that mid, helper out guy, whatever. He was dominant from behind the arc. Who else was on that team that year? What's his nuts?
I don't know. Yeah,
The Matrix, Sean Marion, he was on that team. He was doing things. You had J.J. Barea, who was who the hell is J.J. Barea, I don't know. They made it happen.
But, you can go back to the Suns days when the Suns always were competitive and in the playoffs, and now they can't sniff the playoffs, and, they have Booker. They have talented players. They just can't put it together for whatever reason. So, I'm just saying one person, but, no, I'm totally against... that's the issue is that teams are now, the players run the league, right? So 3 players are getting together and saying, we're going to play here, and the owners are going, okay.
Right.
So they're maxing out their salary cap for those 3 players, and then it's, how many players on the roster? 12?
Right.
So then it's 9 other players that are just close to retirement, league minimum,
and it's pretty
players.
much, with that, so you get 3 players, and you're pretty much signing 5 other players.
Yeah.
And then you're just doing a whole bunch of 10-day contracts.
That's the problem is it's the players wanting their max contracts and going for all the money they can, which you can't fault them for that, but unless they open up the salary cap. But then again, the Warriors do they have anybody at max?
They would have to, right?
I think Curry's max now. I think he got maxed out a couple years ago because he was underpaid at the beginning. So, but even then, if you have 2 max guys, and players are willing to take a salary dump to go play somewhere. Players have always taken a salary hit. The mailman Malone went to L.A. to catch. Gary Payton went to L.A. to try to chase a ring, and they ended up losing it, but. They took extra money at the end of their career to do it, but
Durant's a 2-year max deal.
Who does?
Kevin Durant.
Oh, Well, he just signed that 1 year in extension, right?
Yeah.
So, but nobody stayed. But because the salary cap rises every year, you know, these players have figured out that's why LeBron signed 1 year deals in Cleveland and he opted out every year and re-signed was because
he got the max money every year. Yeah,
you get a pay raise every year.
The max changes every year. Yeah.
Whereas if you sign a 4-year deal and you're good enough, you sign a 4-year deal, you're locked into that dollar amount. You don't get the pay raises. So. The problem is it's a players' league and the owners just cave to them. And I don't know how you stop that other than owners start saying, I can't afford 3 of you. We need more players, you know.
There's going to be another strike at some point, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, Chris Paul is the head of the NBA union. So Chris Paul knows the ins and outs of the contract, right? And guess who just got a max deal? Guess who just played the system the last year and a half to get a max deal in Houston this year? Chris Paul.
Sure.
So you can't tell me that, you know, that wasn't always in the back of his mind on how to do stuff and everything. So, but I mean, there's no doubt the NBA is becoming unwatchable. I just don't know how you solve it other than... You know, because it's not like football where you'll get one team like the Cowboys in the mid-'90s that, you know, dominate. You know, there's always a team that could compete with them, like the Niners competed with them.
Right.
But it's not like the NFL where you have one team that can win the Super Bowl 3 years in a row because it's still competitive otherwise. The problem is that this is just not going to be a competitive year. Like what's going to be like a TNT game like on Tuesday night, the game of the week, you know?
Bulls and Sixers, you watching that one?
you might tune in because you want to see the young Sixers, but you know, but yeah, it's like you can't have a big matchup every week.
Bulls in Minnesota, you watching that one?
So Bulls in Minnesota, it's like, oh my gosh. So that's the NBA there, and you know, I don't know, the NBA's got to solve the problem because
Mavs and Kings, that's gonna be a good game. Take you back to the 03 playoff rounds and stuff. That'll be good.
I mean, the other side of it is the Warriors are eventually going to not want to keep paying this money. So next year or two, they're going to start letting players go, and they'll come back down to earth. But they need to solve these issues basically. And the thing that the NBA did was they're paying these players there. You know, like Tom Brady takes a lower salary in football because he's got outside interests that he makes more money at. TB12, he's got his TB12. He's got a store at the stadium that's all his, you know, and stuff like that. So he makes it there. You know, these players get shoe deals. God, I mean, the top 2 picks of the draft this year have shoe deals.
But
you know,
Puma,
they haven't done anything. And they have shoe deals.
Like hopping in big with the shoe deal now. Like that's what's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
where'd Puma go with this basketball money?
Right. But it's, you know, it just goes back to the thing. Like they can make money off the court as much. So, you know, we don't need, you know, the top guys making. I mean, what is 154 divided by 4? I mean, it's a lot of money. I mean, if it was a free market, you know, Jordan would have been paid up, you know, $300 million a year back then because that's how much he was worth for sales and ticket sales and revenue. And LeBron's in the same boat there. So that's the big argument on that. But yeah, so I don't know how to solve it. That's my bottom line.
We don't know how to solve it. I can't explain it. There's no parity in that league anymore. But there is parity right now going on in the World Cup. I know, Steve, you're getting pretty excited. Obviously, my pick, Croatia, is still in there doing things. So I'm happy about that. But your pick is not in there anymore.
Pretty much, if I picked a team in this World Cup, they got eliminated early.
But my dark horses, they have been eliminated the last couple of days. England with a big game today. Thank you, England, for
they got lucky.
That beautiful dub.
Yeah, like, and I asked you that while we were watching it. So, while we were watching it, I was like, how do people not find this exciting? That was... Okay, I get it. It's 1-0.
Nil.
It's 1-0 with in the 92nd minute, you know, and then, I forgot who they played now. Colombia goes and scores, you know, in stoppage time. Then it goes into the 15 minutes or 30-minute overtime. Nobody scores. It goes to penalty kicks. And that was the most exciting penalty kicks. Like, that was more exciting than the ones we watched the other day. I just don't know how people can't get excited about that. You know, I was joking around downstairs yelling and screaming, you know, oh!
Man, I thought the penalty kicks were pretty exciting. I threw on my Snapchat at JasonCarter03. You can add me. And I was like, the one guy missed. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the guy blocked it. Man, what a heck of a save that was for London. And then Columbia guy knocks it off the post. Like, how you gonna knock it off the post, bro? Like,
pressure, man.
All the things. He hits it off the post, and then London comes back, gets two more, and then the goaltender.
They literally have the weight of their country on their shoulders when they're doing that, and they know it. I was telling you that story where literally newspapers are saying what players should never see the field again while they're playing. So it's exciting. So the round of 16 is all done. I know we did the deal, and Spain's out, and I mean we're gonna have teams this year, except for Brazil. We're gonna have teams this year that can win this that have either never won it before or like back in like the 40s or 50s, So this is actually a pretty wide open, thing. Like I told you after this England game, because Spain went out. I said, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Spain went out. I told you. I said, man, England's got a fairly easy path to the final now if they play their game and everything. So, and God, when was the last time England won the World Cup? Oh, that would just be a nightmare. Oh.
Why? What's your hatred with England, man? I don't understand it.
See, you're not a soccer guy, so you don't get obnoxious England. They're like Red Sox fans. Like when they won the championship, how just all of a sudden they were the greatest people ever on the planet, and don't talk to me. I'm big timing you.
But they're not coming over here to celebrate, are they? Do you know any guy from England who's gonna be talking shit to you at V-Dubs or something like that?
Well, I used to actually, so yes, but
well, is he gonna be at V-Dubs and watching the final? Yo, man, I told you, bro, I told you, man, England all day.
Oh my God, I'm just telling you, they're gonna be like, let's get the Queen and let's go take over America again. That's gonna be their attitude, and we just don't need that in our lives. I'm just saying, we don't need that in our lives anymore. They're gonna be like, let's go get New England back, Virginia back.
Did we get that from them?
I don't know.
It's this is all new to me.
I don't know. It had been somebody. I know Spain was here and stuff like that, but
I don't think that was one of the Six Flags over Texas. I remember that.
I still think Brazil's the team to beat by far. And especially now that Spain went out. Brazil just control. They just dominated your Mexico team.
Hey, but then you got the host city, Russia. They're still in it.
They play Croatia, so that's one of those two teams is going to be moving on to the whatever it is semifinal round.
The Final Four, I guess. Yeah, you call it the Final Four, right?
So you're gonna have
our version of the Final Four.
Yeah, you're gonna have Russia or Croatia in the final. I don't know how it isn't exciting at that point. And the games have certainly tightened up. So you look at the score, and Americans, 1-0. Who wants to watch a 1-0 game?
I know you always get those people who we talked about last week. Those guys oh man, if I want to watch a bunch of guys not score, I take my buddies out to the bar. What do these guys do in a football game 6-3? Are they super excited about that?
Yes,
one too,
they are, and they get excited about a 1-0 baseball game. And a 1-0 baseball game I actually enjoy more than a 13-10 baseball game.
I enjoy a good pitcher's duel,
but I find a 0-0 soccer game for 90 minutes a lot more exciting than I do that 1-0 baseball game, because it's constantly movement. There's opportunities, and it's usually not. There's usually chances to score that are just amazing. You saw that at the end today. Before Columbia put that goal in, they had 3 or 4 awesome chances that were just saved by the goalkeeper and things like that. So, yeah, so it's exciting. So the round of 8 starts, excuse me, I believe on Saturday for us here. And that'll be exciting to watch, I think. Like I said, the exciting thing about this year is just, I think they said today that of the top 10 FIFA-ranked national teams, I think only 4 or 5 are still in it. It's half or less than half are still in it. So there's teams that are ranked. Russia's ranked 60. They were either last or second to last when they started this tournament, and they're still in it. So, your team Japan. That Belgium Japan game yesterday ended up being 4-3. That was Japan dominated that whole game. It was pretty exciting to watch. But enough of my soccer rant. Enough of my football rant.
Enough of football talk.
Yes. Speaking of American football, Cam Chancellor retired. What the F, man?
Yeah, I saw that. Cam Chancellor obviously been battling some nagging injuries.
I am not a Seattle Seahawks fan by any stretch of the imagination. It's a good day if their bus breaks down for me. Like, I'm happy. But he was just one of those dominant players back there, and he played football the way it's supposed to be played, the old school way, and just body breaks down over time when you play that way.
I told a Seattle fan, 3 years ago, hey, your window is closing, and the window's closed now, I think.
Oh,
Chancellor retiring, obviously they got
Sherman's gone.
They got rid of Bennett. Did he leave or like?
He's in San Francisco. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He did sign for San Francisco. Yeah, that was so long ago. It seems like.
That was right as the.
Yeah, that was like right when free agency started. So yeah, I mean their window's gone. Like that window is officially closed. And now you look at the West here and the NFC. It's like, all right, you got the Rams. They're going to be the powerhouse, and which is crazy to think it's the Rams are going to be the powerhouse. Led by Jared Goff. And 2 years ago we were like, really, Jared Goff? Like,
I mean, the Rams.
What's this?
The Rams starting offensive guard got suspended 2 games for PEDs and stuff. So today, but that's the thing. But the Rams have to come back to earth this year. Like last year was just a fluke. Like they've always had a sweet defense, and their defense has been solid. The Cardinals, when the Cardinals were
their defense hooked me up so much in fantasy. Their defense got me more points than my freaking running backs like half the time. Right? Like I don't get it. Like.
I mean, their front seven are best in football, as a core. But they have to take a step back. Their offense can't play the same way it played last year. They didn't have very many injuries last year, if any. And usually when that happens to a team, the next year everybody's getting injured.
Right, right. And that's like the sad thing about football, too. Like, once you have that great year, like, all right, and then, like, ready to ride that wave onto the next year, and then it just doesn't happen. I mean,
preseason, you lose your 4 best players to a season-ending knee injury.
I think the only teams that's happened to recently has been the Seahawks, when the Seahawks were kind of, like, starting to figure out, with their guys, and it's like, oh, wow, they made the playoffs. They're making a pretty good run here. And then they, went to the Super Bowl and obviously won. And it's like, okay, wow, these guys, they're here. They're here to stay. Then they went on and lost the next one, but
yeah, they should have won it.
Should have won it. Should have, could have. Whatever.
That just intensified my hatred for the Seahawks. Like, I already didn't like them.
Well, you're like,
but I'm not going to root for New England by any stretch. And then they give the game to New England. So Tom Brady wins another one. So I was just like, Seattle, I hate you even more now, But it is that season for the NFL where everybody's doing their off seasons and drug testing has started because a lot of players are getting suspended for drugs all of a sudden. Reuben Foster got suspended today.
Which I don't really think that one matters. I don't think he was playing much this year anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, Aaron Jones for the Packers got suspended 2 games today. I told you the guard Brown for the Rams got suspended today. Jameis Winston got suspended 4 games, but not for drugs.
3 games.
3 games. Oh,
what I don't get is how does he get suspended for 3 games when he straight up said, yeah, I groped this chick. And the chick's like, yeah, he groped me. Like, all right, cool. Is it because he came out? Like, you think if some of these guys have been like, oh,
past. Hey. Well, in this day and age.
But his past has been pretty rough.
That's what I mean. But in this day and age, you don't not punish somebody. Remember, who was that they didn't punish? The running back for Rice for the Baltimore. Remember they didn't punish him? And then everybody flipped out about, how did you let the NFL?
Well, because the video came out, which is dumb, is why, which I could get into that.
The thing about
because.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, I was just going to say, the video came out.
Go on your rant.
So he had, what, 2 game suspension, I believe? And then the video came out, and it's like, oh, you're suspended the full season now? Like, just because the video comes out doesn't mean, that didn't happen. Like, we all knew what happened. The video doesn't make it new evidence. Yeah, it's like the whole thing with the running back for Oakland, or for Oklahoma, who got drafted by Cincy.
Joe Mixon,
Yeah, Mixon. It was like, the video didn't change. Like, we all knew what happened. Like, I don't need a video come up 5 years later. Like, I already knew that. I read it in the police report.
But, the problem with that is the visual is always more damning than, So if I go rob a bank and there's no video of me doing it, there's a lot more gray area involved in that than with me standing there staring at the camera while I'm holding the bank up. You know what I mean?
Flipping the camera off while you're walking out.
Yeah. I mean,
double bird and all.
Yeah, that's the reason police wear cams now, is because it's a lot less gray area when you're seeing it. But, well, that's the thing that's what I'm saying in this day and age. I mean, she didn't even report it to the police. She just reported it to Uber, and he got his Uber suspended. So, I mean, that's why it took 2 years to figure it out. I came out of nowhere, too, but it goes back to my Ezekiel Elliott comment for you when you're all in your rant about how he shouldn't be done. It's like, stop treating women and people like dicks, man. Just stop being assholes to everybody.
That wasn't the reason why I was mad about it. The reason I was mad about it is because it was pure. I mean, he was just accused of it, and it was dropped. Like, if you look at the NFL's track record of suspensions, it doesn't add up.
Again, in this day and age, after Ray Rice, you have to put some sort of punishment.
But he got the max punishment. He got 6 games.
And then he fought it, too. He could have probably got it knocked down in suspension, but he pissed everybody off, so...
I like that he fought it. He proved his innocence.
He did? Because I saw him sit out 6 games.
Well, he had to. Whatever. They were being Jews about it. Anyways, speaking of...
Well... Oh, sorry. Wait,
I was going to go NFL. We have the rookie ratings are out now.
Ooh.
For Madden. So, top 5 quarterbacks.
Wait, first of all... Oh, is it just rookies you're going? I was going to say, who's the top player that's pissed off about his ratings? But anyway.
Well, I can tell you right now, probably the top rookie pissed off about his rating is our boy out here, old Josh Rosen. Top 5 quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield coming in number 1 with 81 overall. Lamar Jackson.
Really? Lamar Jackson?
79, number 2 with Baltimore. Josh Rosen, 78 overall, number 3 on the list. And then Sam Darnold and Josh Allen with 75 and 74.
Why would Rosen be upset about that? Well, because he wants to be number 1.
I mean, you heard Rosen's comments when he was drafted. 10 other teams made
he's a feisty one.
Made a bad mistake.
But he's not even slated to start yet, so...
He's going to start once Sam Bradford hurts his ACL or whatever. It is that Sam Bradford hurts every year. Top 5 defensive players. They just kind of lumped up all defensive guys. Roquan Smith, middle linebacker for the Bears. So there you go, Chicago. Get excited about the Bears. Bradley Chubb with the Broncos. He's 80%. Yeah, sorry, Smith was 81. Bradley Chubb at 80% for the Broncos, defensive end. Strong safety, Derwin James for the Chargers, 80%.
Chubb's is 80, and he's got the other dude, Von Miller, on the other side, and they still got him. Wow, because he's going to be... You can't double team them both.
Right, I mean, I guess we'll see how the year... I mean, this is just pre-rated. We haven't seen what he's done. He's a rookie now.
It's Madden deal. But I'm just saying, you'd think he'd be a little bit higher.
Another reason to hop on the Cleveland Browns future picks is Denzel Ward, cornerback, 4th on this list, 80 overall. He's a cornerback. And then Vita V for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 79 overall, the defensive tackle. Running backs, obviously, Saquon Barkley is number 1. Makes sense, right?
The tree trunks himself.
Yeah,
yes.
82%. Big fall off here, though. Darius
I was going to say.
Juice? Is that Darius Juice? I don't know. For the Redskins, 78%.
No idea.
Ronald Jones II for the Buccaneers is 77, 3rd on the list. Sony Michael for the Patriots. Of course, they always get a running back. 77 overall.
He's not a running back. He's a slot receiver. They put it
right. And then number 5 on the list, another reason for my Browns to get excited, Nick Chubb. 76 overall. So, I mean, they're dominating some rookie.
The surprising thing about those rankings isn't the big fall off from Saquon down, is that Saquon's so high because running backs are devalued a lot.
Right. Oh, yeah, I totally get that. Then wideouts, top 5 wideouts from the rookie class. We have a tie up at the top. DJ Moore for the Panthers, 77 overall. Calvin Ridley for the Falcons, 77 overall. It's kind of shocked. I think the number is kind of low for both of those guys, especially Ridley. I mean, he's the guy we've heard so much about.
Well, I agree with you on that. But wait, who's in front of Ridley? Sorry.
He's tied with DJ Moore for the Panthers, and Dante Pettis for the 49ers, 76 overall. Cortland Sutton for the Broncos, 75 overall. And then Anthony Miller for the Bears, 74 overall, top 5. So,
but these are ranked off of their overall. I mean, they give them these rankings off of speed, ability, agility, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they, for the rookie ratings, if they look at what they did in college, or if they just kind of go off draft pick wise,
because
what scouts are saying.
That's what I'm wondering, because it's also, like I said, depends on your team. Because Chubb's being 80, I'm not surprised it's a little bit higher, because even in Madden, that you still have Von Miller on the other side, So
here's the stats behind the rankings and everything. So for this. I'll just read you Calvin Ridley's here for the Falcons. Says the Falcons' newest pass attack addition is the fastest option among the 5 rookie wideouts with a 93% speed. He also possesses more top scores, including 93% acceleration, 95% agility, and 91 juke. His ball carrier ratings end up around the mid-80s. His downside is his hands, though. 81% catching and 78 catching traffic make him the least reliable option among the 5. So he's strictly just a deep threat when you're playing Madden.
I think he's gonna be a deep threat in the NFL too. So at least his first couple of years, I don't think he's not gonna be the guy that runs across the middle or anything like that. So I think Madden's got it.
That's why you got Jones for.
Yeah, I think Madden's got it nailed down. I'm just always curious. I always crack up when somebody comes out and their rating's like 80 and they're like, what? I should be at least a 92.
Especially the veterans, it's like, what? And then I always love it though when it does come out with the rookie. I remember when Michael Vick, his first year, and they're like, hey, you got a chance to play yourself in Madden? He's like, yeah, I had to up my speed a little bit because I thought that was pretty low, but whatever.
Yeah,
give me 96. Come on, Madden.
And I haven't played Madden in a few years. I got really tired of it after a while. But I don't know. I think you can create your own guy and change his stats, right?
Yeah, you can create your own. Yeah, you can go back there and change the stats of even your own player. So if I played with the Cowboys and I was like, hey, how come Dak isn't accuracy at 95? I'm gonna up that. You can up his arm accuracy or whatever you want.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm more curious about. Mayfield, he's ranked number 1 as a rookie quarterback. I'm like, what puts him above everybody else? I mean, obviously he's going to be the starter and he can throw the ball, but can he read defenses and stuff like that? I mean, I'm more curious about how they get to that.
Can he plant a Browns flag on the middle of the Ravens field? That's what I want to know.
Can he grab his crotch and say F you to the Ravens when they're playing them?
That'd be awesome.
Like he did Kansas. Well, the other thing about the NFL is, I remember if we talked about this, but the Hall of Fame's coming up, and
yep, I mean the Hall of Fame game obviously kicking off next month. Are you excited?
Less than 30 days.
A month away from football. Get excited.
I was telling you, I just not getting excited about football. But the last couple of years, I usually don't until it starts.
Yeah.
And then my other problem with the NFL is that they use the first 2 and 3 games of the season as elongated preseason. So you don't know what your team's going to do until the 4th or 5th game. You don't know how good they are, how bad they are until those games. It's just
and pretty much too, though. Also, when it comes to NFL these days, I remember I was on an interview with a Fanatic a few weeks ago, and they were like, "So who's your favorite football team?" I was like, "I mean, obviously the Cowboys, but I mean, it's all about my fantasy squad now. I mean, if they ain't playing good, who cares what my other team's doing?"
Yeah, and it's that's the whole that's what I think I think that ruined basketball is when basketball went away from teams. The NBA went away from teams to individual players, and football's doing that too. But it's all gambling. So as long as people gamble, it's going to be a lot of money. And it's going to be even more huge now with Delaware and.
Yeah, I mean, now that they passed the law on states that can do it, I think New Jersey they put it in.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, they put it in their casinos now, right? But
and then
so Delaware was first, and
still waiting on Arizona to pass the bill and get that going.
Seriously, you can't even. I'm not a big gambling guy, but you can't even play live. I was telling you about that trivia game that I wanted to play, where you play trivia, you get 10 questions, and you can win real money on it. But I can't buy $5 worth of extra lives. So if I get a question wrong, I usually get 9 out of 10 right. I'm always missing one that's harder, and I can't buy $5 worth of extra life to win money on there because Arizona and 10 other states don't let you. And it's just I'm not gambling. I just want to.
I mean, even playing DraftKings here. I like playing DraftKings, I try to play here, which is sad. I remember you got to
you got
Phoenix International Raceway. They actually have a big DraftKings banner, on their back porch there. And it's oh wow, cool, can't play. Why even promoting that here? Thanks,
well, it's good national.
Thanks, assholes.
I know. It's just oh my god, man. But you can go to, we went to Kentucky Derby thing, you know? You can gamble left and right there.
Yeah.
So it's so dumb.
You can go to a casino. There's plenty of casino options. I went to one yesterday.
Yeah, right.
On a Monday. Just hanging out, playing roulette and Keno.
Degenerate Jason at the casino on a Monday morning.
Don't judge my life right now.
But you know, you got the Hall of Fame coming up, and all the inductees, they go in, and the big controversy was Terrell Owens is mad because he's just an angry guy at life. He decided he wasn't going to go to the induction ceremony and participate in the festivities and everything. And then it comes out today that he's going to give his Hall of Fame speech at his college, which was Tennessee State or something like that. It was a small school.
Was it like Chattanooga, right? Tennessee Chattanooga,
oh, yeah,
right?
Tennessee Chattanooga, yeah.
Where he's no longer the world record holder for anything because his boy on Big Brother wasn't his name Fasanio? I don't even know that guy's name.
Right? Yeah.
Big Brother podcast coming up a little bit later on.
Yes.
It's going to be a video podcast. We're going to get that shot for you probably on Thursday, I think, after
eliminations.
Or because tomorrow they'll do the veto, so I think live eviction is Thursday, so we'll get that on Thursday or Friday. So
yeah, but like so I mean he's just like I get it. You have a chip on your shoulder, you know. You have a chip on your shoulder when you shouldn't, you know, and stuff like that. I get it. You're just an angry guy, like cool. But Hall of Fame's something special. Like, people literally left blood on the field to try to make the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. And he's angry because he didn't get in 4 years ago because other players that were better than him, you know, had to get in first and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. I've never really respected T.O. at all. Like, I always thought he was just a big crybaby.
I mean, I think he had a legit beef for a couple of years there where, like, he probably should have made it. But, you know, I know his attitude caused a bunch of people not to vote for him. And I've always said it should be based on stats on the field, not the guy's attitude. That's always been my
Well, it's supposed to be,
thing.
But the other problem he had was he had 3 or 4 receivers in front of him that were better and deserved to go, and there was a backlog of receivers at the time, so they weren't going to put Terrell Owens wasn't better than them by that much where he deserved to go in before them, you know. And that's the whole thing with the balloting. I mean, how many running backs are delayed, you know? They go to the Veterans Committee before they get in, even though they deserve to be there and stuff like that. But man, just, you know, just stop. Goes back to my whole thing. Just stop being an asshole, Terrell. Just stop being an asshole. You've lived a privileged life. You got to play football. You were literally a nobody in college and high school. Nobody recruited you. You weren't nobody. You show up in the NFL and you get your shot, and you, with Steve Young in San Francisco, and you make a name for yourself, and then you become this guy. I don't even think he's a Hall of Famer, to be honest with you, but I don't know if that drives my thing. I've seen him drop a lot of easy passes.
Yeah, he has dropped a lot of easy passes. But that was like more like tail end of his career. Like when he was going, you know?
Yeah, that's true. You know,
like when he was with the Niners, like he was rolling. Eagles, he was rolling. Cowboys, that's when it started getting a little murky.
But I also, was reading, because Donovan McNabb lives here, so, you know, I actually, at the time, knew somebody that knew Donovan McNabb, so they'd always talk about it. And when your teammates name you, like, when they say, you know, we survived the Terrell Owens experience, you know, and stuff like that, it's never a good sign when your teammates hate you. So.
But that's, like, public, like, when they first walk through the door, you know, it's like, you know, T.O. back in those days, I remember when he signed with Dallas, I mean, all the Dallas radio was talking about was like, oh boy, this is going to be a big dumpster fire here. Like, this guy's not going to fit in with our, you know, locker room. Like, that's where it mainly goes. And wherever he goes, it's like, yep. And he always has to come out and say, I've changed. Like, but everywhere he went, you know, like after that, I think it went to the Bengals and the Bills. He's like, I've changed. I'm a changed man.
Oh my God. Yeah, the Bills signed him. That's right. And then they cut him, didn't they? Or he was there for 1 year because he was a nuisance. You know? So it's like, just, like, I get it. You have a chip on your shoulder. To get to that level, a lot of those guys have chips on their shoulders, you know, to get places. And they use it as motivation. But those days are gone, man. Like, you don't have to prove yourself anymore, Terrell. Whether I think you're a Hall of Famer or not, which I like I said, I fall on the side of borderline maybe. But you made it. So if anything, go to the signing, walk up there on the podium. Don't even say anything. Just flip people off and walk off. Like, I'd respect you more if you did that than acting like a baby right now, you know? So, anyways, that came out today, so I just wanted to bring that up on there, so.
Well, tomorrow is going to be a fun day. It is, of course, 4th of July, so we do hope everybody does have a fantastic 4th of July.
And safe. Don't blow fingers off.
Yes,
any NFL players.
Don't JPP yourself. What do you have a favorite, like, 4th of July memory? Like, 4th of July's always been, like, my favorite holiday.
See, when you grow up in Phoenix, Arizona, 4th of July consists of you showing up at a place that does fireworks at 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Sun goes down at, like 8?
Yeah.
So and they have fun things to do, you know, they have bounce houses and whatever. But
What places are you talking about?
well, like when I was a kid, it was like at Mesa Community College.
Oh, okay.
You know, but now you got like Tempe Town Lake.
Right.
So you show up, you know, early. It's effing hot. The sun's beating down on you. It's just a miserable experience, you know. But then I've been to like fireworks shows in small towns, like where my mom's from in Nevada and Vegas and places like that, and you know, it's a lot more bearable because it's just hot. So my memories are just the heat, you know, and being out, type of a thing. So I mean, it's sitting in 115 degree temperatures with the sun beating down, you know, with thousands of other people fighting the lines to get water and snow cones, and then it goes down, you're tired, the fireworks go off for an hour, and I hate to say what I'm about to say. Every fireworks show is the same stupid thing.
Oh,
they have to play.
It all just depends on length.
Yeah, it's that's the thing. And then when they're long, they stretch them out, and you're like, you could have ended this 10 minutes ago because we've seen this design 17 times. Like, we really don't need to hear all 4 patriotic songs in their full length. Like, why is Whitney Houston singing the national anthem? Because that's the longest one of all time.
There's only so much Lee Greenwood you can listen to.
So you're tired, and then you have to go and, like, you know, your kids are asleep, you know, they're tired and cranky because it's been hot, you're still sweating to death.
You gotta pack up your lawn chairs.
You gotta pack up your blankets and everything. You gotta, everything you gotta walk however far to the car. You gotta sit in traffic. It's 10:30 at night, 11 at night. Then you usually gotta get up the next morning and go to work. So, damn you, America.
Damn Americans. How dare them.
No, but anyway, I mean, that's, you know, it's an experience and you got to do it and whatnot. But, and I've been to small town ones, like I said, in Vegas. And I mean, they're just more better. But like I said, it's because it's not the heat, especially small towns, you know, because they do a carnival and stuff like that, type of a deal. So those were better when I was a kid. But I don't really have very many, like, huge memories, you know, other than that.
I think, let me look back on my time. Like 2 years ago, we had, you know, Nolan's first 4th of July. That was pretty good.
Did he go?
Yeah, so we did like the...
So he screamed the whole time.
No. So we did there was a parade that day because we lived in like a small town like outside Chicago. So they actually did like those little kiddie parades or whatever, you know.
In Chicago they did a parade?
No, and then we did that. And then that night we, went and parked the car and watched fireworks from the car, actually. He sat in my lap, whatever.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. I mean, he didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, at that age, they have no clue.
Then last year we went to Chicago, and it was like stupid hot and humid, and I was like rocking my, we had the whole family rocking the Old Navy t-shirts.
And the sun goes down even later there, right?
And then, I think it was like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we were like, during the day we went sightseeing because Matt actually came in.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
For the 4th last year, and it was just way hot, and we didn't watch fireworks. 2 years before that, went to Vegas, got extremely drunk during the day, passed out, woke up at like 10 o'clock after fireworks. But that was fun because we went gambling afterwards. So I mean, I don't know, like fireworks, they really don't do anything for me. We saw fireworks this past weekend at the races, and I was like, all right, cool. But I agree with you. Like, it's the better shows. Like, have you ever seen the one where the guy like totally fucked up and just lit them all off in like 20 seconds? Like, hell yeah, man.
There was one in San Diego.
That's America right there. Yeah.
There was one in San Diego, like over the
Coronado, right?
Yeah, and they all went up with the same. The thing that was interesting about Saturday's fireworks at the racetrack. for me was, well, one, I was filming it, but then two was the guys that were letting it off came up to where I was standing and had the monitor, so I was able to watch the timer go down, and then he'd hit another button and then the timer would go down. So I was able to watch that side of it because that was more fascinating to me. But even then, the video's up, by the way. If you want to go to gestaltproduction.com, it's on there. It just felt like it was really long.
And it was only like 7 minutes because he brought me like this little 7-minute thing. He's like, hey, need you to play this thumb drive. This is songs, patriotic songs. Like, all right, cool, yeah, sure. Like, give it to Gary. I don't feel like dealing with it.
Yeah. But yeah.
And like watching it, because at the end, it was a decent, for what it was. I mean, it was a small budget thing, but it was a decent show. And at the end, did the finale. All right, cool. But then, he still had, the two stragglers afterwards. It's
right,
like,
I know.
Oh, you failed.
It wasn't bad. And probably the reason why I also enjoyed it a little bit more was because, I wasn't there just to see fireworks and sitting there for 4 hours to get a good spot. And,
we used to do the baseball game. We used to always do 4th of July baseball game for the Rangers. Go to that, and then you watch fireworks show afterwards. But you got the baseball, and that's the only time they sell out,
Yeah,
back in those years.
Yeah, I mean, the D-backs are doing that, tomorrow. They're playing the game, and then they open up the roof, and then the fireworks will go off right there, so you don't have to go out or anything.
But then you always have those people who didn't make it to the game, who are trying to get a spot around there to figure out where to watch it. So it's just gonna be a big cluster fuck afterwards. Sorry, Mom.
And I'm leaving there. I know. That's the whole thing. Even there, then you're gonna go to leave. You have to fight traffic. If God forbid you take the light rail and have to stand in that long line. But happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday. No, actually, 5 years ago, I think.
We're so negative about this. It's hilarious.
So, the best one I had was 5 years ago. Because I think it was on a Thursday. And we were off that Friday. So working, we had...
in the military?
This is the greatest military holiday ever because you get extra days off.
Yeah.
It's sweet. And I remember we went to, was it Salty Senoritas over there in Peoria?
Yeah.
And they had like everything outside, had a band playing and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so we just got hammered drunk and,
did military things.
Yeah. I mean, the night was probably better because I ended up, picking up some dirty blonde, but it was a good night. It was a good night.
No comment. Yeah, I know. So, I mean, it's an exciting, it's a good holiday. It's an exciting holiday. Like I said,
it's the one day where we as Americans can look at all these other countries and just say, suck my dick. It's my birthday.
You like it better than Memorial Day and Labor Day and all that?
Yeah, because Memorial Day is all about honoring the fallen. Veterans Day is about thanking the guys who serve. 4th of July is just about we're fucking Americans. We're fucking proud. If you ain't proud, get the fuck out. That's what I like. I like being that proud.
F you, Britain.
F you, shithole countries. F you, World Cup. Tomorrow I'm not watching the World Cup because y'all fucking suck and y'all are irrelevant.
There's no game tomorrow. So.
You know why? Because fuck them.
Because America. Because America.
That's right. So boom.
People wear I equate it to New Year's Day, which I can't stand New Year's Eve, because people wear the stupid goggles with the year and hats and party favors and it just drives me batty. So you show up to these fireworks things, and people have Uncle Sam's hat on, and I'm just
that's the best.
Oh my god, people we know wear nothing but American flags on their clothing.
They can't see that you're pointing at me.
I know. I'm they're sitting next to me here. Oh my god! It's my god!
You actually told me to get the shirt I'm wearing tomorrow.
Are you gonna wear that one?
Yeah.
I know. I had to talk you into that. I couldn't believe it.
I thought it was a little too gaudy, but I went with it. You gotta go back and get the one that has the Declaration of Independence written on it.
I actually like that one, sadly. I was like, ooh, I like that one. But I'm not spending $15 on a shirt I'll never wear again.
You'll wear it every 4th?
No, I won't.
Veterans Day, Memorial Day. Yeah, exactly. You'll wear it.
I'll just, I walk around. I don't need people going, what's the Declaration of Independence? Because then I'll just want to hit them.
Right.
What's that shirt mean, man? Really?
Whose autograph you got on that shirt?
Who's the founding fathers, idiot?
Who's George Washington? Who'd he play for, man? Who'd that guy play for?
Philly? Did he play for Philly? Because it looks like this was signed in Philly.
Even says signed in Philly. Huh. Oh yeah, I remember that guy. I remember that guy back when he played for us. Yeah, he was a great pitcher.
I just don't wear clothes like that or anything, so ever in my life. So never been that guy. Ever.
I I'm gonna get the. I got my tank top somewhere. It says they hate us because they ain't us. That's what I'm rocking out tomorrow.
Just wear a MAGA hat. MAGA.
I got my MAGA hat too. I'll wear that too. Make it all great again. It'd be a lot better than what's that? Walmart now? They're in the news.
Bringing this up.
I mean, I don't know. I laughed. People were like, I'm boycotting Walmart. Bullshit. You ain't boycotting Walmart.
I know, right? Like, where are you gonna go?
Yeah, like you're a redneck. You're not boycotting Walmart. It's like
Target don't want you.
Yeah, Target does not want you. But apparently there's some. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. Somebody found. It's so weird how they find these because it was like
It was a
this
it was a conservative. This one was weird because normally it's like some guy like sitting on his couch.
Yeah.
But this was like a conservative radio host that was like shopping for his kids and found it on Walmart.
So it says impeach 45, which it could be talking about anything. I think.
No.
Okay. No. Okay.
It's obvious what they're talking about.
But it's on Walmart.com, but it's not like Walmart is selling it. It's a third-party thing, but people just don't know how to, like, put it all together, you know? That it's a third-party type deal.
Walmart has to approve it for their site, Jason.
Well, they had that one that was up there, which it was like... It's just an ad, pretty much, is what it is. So I don't really know how much they
you buy that shirt.
right?
No, you buy that shirt.
Oh, because they did it the one that was like an ad, and I forgot what it was.
It was the one where it had a rope and then a post, and then it said journalists, some assembly acquired, basically saying go hang your journalists.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And people flipped about that too.
But that was like from Shopify or something like that.
But like they're third party people, but I mean, it goes back to my whole thing I've said 1,000 times in my life and in this podcast is, as a company, stop pissing off half of your customer base with stuff like that. You know, because you read the article. What was all the comments was Walmart siding with left wingers. You know, they want to impeach Walmart wants to impeach the president, which is not even close to what the truth is. But that's where it goes.
But even if Walmart did want to impeach the president, they're not going to get far in impeaching the president because they're Walmart. All right, like they just sell shit, guys. Like be cool with it.
Man,
like
billions of dollars.
They go in there, get your taxes done, get a Subway.
How many people believe? Like, you know the argument that I've been having with a certain somebody in my life, or was in my life, I guess. I don't know if she still is or not. I'm still confused.
Your cryptic Facebook post show otherwise.
I'm still confused on why I'm an evil person. But it's amazing how many people read something on Facebook or anything, and they just run with it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, that's not even close to being true, you know? And it's like, they're like, oh, but it's right here, I see it. So I'm just saying, how many people are seeing that on Walmart and going, oh my God, Walmart wants to... I'm going to shop at Walmart because they want to impeach the president.
I think because we're an hour in, my mom's probably not listening anymore, so I can... I can dime her out on this one now. I don't know why you're laughing so hard.
Yeah, she's so listening.
Probably. But no, she'll always like post stuff. Like she did that one I told you about where she was like, Facebook doesn't want the flag on Facebook. And it was like a post from like 5 years ago. I was like, Mom, they don't want the flag. They would have took it down 5 years ago. Like you sharing it in 2018.
It's like that trucking guy that has a flag on his truck and he has to do a post because he heard from somebody somewhere that Loves or whatever, or one of those
Pilot
doesn't want to fly the American flag because it insults, you know, Muslims. And it's like, who told you that? Who told you that? Because I doubt it's on a flyer inside, you know, like, but you know, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, it'll influence opinions on people, but just as a company, stop. I understand it's a third-party thing, but stop pissing off half of your customer base with political stuff. But that's what I was telling you at the same time. On the same website, they still sell Make America Great Again stuff, which insults half of their audience also, right. You know, so... You know, but it's just, I don't know, it just cracks me up. By the way, everybody knows what that means.
No, they all know it.
There's no ambiguity on that one, Jason. Impeach 45 means only one thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I was giving benefit of the doubt. That's what I do. You know,
Jason, what Walmart is saying is that they want to overthrow our government, and this is why the Second Amendment is so important, because we need to stand up to protect our government from tyranny of our government and companies like Walmart that want to overthrow. Okay, I mean, I was going to go on to this big rant, and I decided to stop it because people are going to think I really believe it.
Yeah, I don't even know what to believe anymore. No, but I see you do have something up there. You want to get into this real quick here before we roll off?
Well, just Major League Baseball. I was just reading, trying to figure out how your boy Ohtani is being activated from the DL. And he's going to DH now, so he's not going to have Tommy John. They're going to just use him and let him heal, but he's apparently not going to pitch anymore.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one either. He obviously hurt something up in his elbow region, and they said, "Well,
ulnar
looks like he's going to
ligament.
need to have Tommy John." Then they're like, "No, we're not going to do Tommy John." Then they're like, "All right, we're going to bring him back." Well, and now they're just going to DH, which I mean, you can still get hurt, DHing, right? Like. Especially if you already have like that strain on there.
Well, it's partially torn. It came out as partially torn, but well, that's the thing. So now he's not going to pitch. So they want to know how to use him. The injury can heal without surgery, and so they want to try to do that. But Tommy John's something that takes 2 years to come back from?
About a year and a half now.
So
if he did it now, he wouldn't pitch again until 2020.
Yeah, so he goes through this season and it doesn't heal right, and he does it in November. Then you're even farther back.
Yeah, you won't get back until mid-2020.
All because you want him to DH.
Right.
So I was just fascinated by that, But supposedly, I mean, they looked it out. They looked it up, and the doctors say he can't injure it more. Which makes sense. Like, he cannot injure it more by batting. Which makes sense because pitching is such an unnatural motion for baseball players, So it kind of makes sense on that. But I haven't been watching much baseball lately with the World Cup on and all that stuff. So I don't even know what's going on other than that. I was just surprised to see that pop up today, that he's going to bat tonight. So today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I remember last week I heard him talking about that. I thought that was kind of weird too. I don't understand how it wouldn't get hurt. I imagine that it could still get hurt. Like, because I remember I had like an elbow issue.
But it depends what it is.
So, I hate to say this because I sound like such a queer, but I got diagnosed with tennis elbow.
We all, Jason, you're not surprising anybody.
And I don't play tennis.
Oh my God, the old joke.
What?
You weren't here for that. I had tennis elbow for like 6 months, man. I couldn't get rid of it.
Really?
It was bad. I couldn't lift my arm above my head.
Dude, I don't know what happened, but I went to work and I was trying to work on a jet. This is back when I was in the military. It was right before I got out. I was like, man, I can't get this thing up here.
You can lift your arm though?
I could lift my arm, but I couldn't lift it right past this motion right here, but I couldn't work. Yeah. We work with heavy things, so I went and I got tennis elbow. I was like, oh man, that's annoying. We gotta tell people I got tennis over there and laugh at me, and which of course they did.
Use the real name on it. I know. That's what everybody said to me too. But yeah, this was it was right when I was leaving the other job, the other life. I had it for 2 months before that, and it wouldn't get better. It wouldn't get better no matter what they did. And it got to the point where it looked like my forearm here was like a big knot, It was literally like Popeye. It would go up and go down and all that.
No, that sucked. Just trying to do anything in that region. So I don't know if a tear is in your elbow. I don't know where the UCL.
It's a ligament though. It's not.
Where's the ligament?
It's
at
in there. I don't know. You can't see it.
Well, can you feel it?
I don't know. I'm sure it's one of those.
I feel a bunch of ligaments.
Yeah, it's one of those things there. I'm sure.
So I don't know. I figure even working out, you put some strain on that thing, right?
Yeah, but he's probably not. I mean, he's not a big guy. How much working out is he doing?
Well, you still got to lift something.
You sure?
Maintain. You can't just go in there and not do it.
I don't know. He's a pretty skinny guy. You think he's lifting weights?
He's got to be lifting something.
Well,
guys hitting dingers left and right. What the heck?
That doesn't come from your arms, though. That comes from your hips and your lower legs, right?
All the above.
No, I don't know. I've never been a home run hitter, so I don't know. So
yeah, I think it's weird. I agree, totally agree.
I just don't understand why. I mean, doctors obviously know more than we know, but
sometimes,
yeah, right. But I would just hate to see them try to heal it. Maybe it's his decision. He doesn't want to do Tommy John.
Right.
That's the thing about him, though, is a pitcher would go and do Tommy John, no questions asked.
But the hitter...
But he can hit, so worst case for him is he just stops pitching, right?
Right. And then it's where do you need this guy? I mean... Well, granted,
he's a good hitter.
Yeah, you signed a DH to
millions of dollars.
Great use of the DH though here, right?
Oh, I was waiting for this.
This is just great that we have a DH.
As soon as you said DH, he can play the field.
Shit.
Here.
What does he play? Well, no, he can't because he can't throw.
You can't pitch. Pitching is different than throwing.
Throwing and pitch, like that's the
Pitching straight. Oh my god, it's an unnatural. Have you ever seen anybody
like throwing a curveball is unnatural?
Have you ever seen somebody throw an elbow out, throwing the ball from the outfield or from second base? Ever in your life?
That's probably happened.
Ever. Have you ever seen it? Because I can think of 400 pitchers that go down because of some elbow injury from pitching.
Well, they throw a lot more.
That's my
Obviously.
point. Yeah, but it's not.
But I think if it's already hurt, you're not going to throw him in the field.
The DH sucks, Jason.
DH
I know where you're going
suck.
on this, and the DH is un-American. Speaking of July 4th,
The DH is not un-American. It's in the American League.
the AL should just not play tomorrow because they're un-American. They should play on Communist Day. Canada Day was the other day. That's when the American League should play with their DH rules. Canada Day.
The Toronto Blue Jays did look pretty fire with their Canada Day jerseys. I love their Canada Day jerseys every year. I look forward to it.
Oh my god. Strategy is a good thing. Just having a guy up there to brute force a ball someplace is just ridiculous.
Hitting home runs is the best thing ever. Having an American League pitcher bunt down the third base line when there's one guy on with one out, and then having two outs with a runner at second and not getting in is effing stupid. But if a DH can crank a home run with that guy on first with one out, you get two runs, and you still got one out, and you don't leave a man on. So, boom.
Finesse and strategy, Jason.
Nope.
Lost art.
Give me dings.
Americans, they want just brute force all the time.
Damn straight we do.
That's why you don't like the 1-0 soccer game, 1-0 soccer game. It's because I want to see 14 wins.
I just really don't give a shit about soccer, especially now with like no USA in there. Like I'm not the only one either.
You would care if America was in there?
Yeah, I would watch it more. I'd be more in tune.
Why?
Because America.
Who?
Those are my team. Do I know anybody on the team? Nope, but I know USA. Those colors don't run. 1776, man, back-to-back WWE champs. What?
This outranks the Super Bowl. Like, this is a worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide, but not like America-wide. The only ratings I look at, only ratings that matter to me. You know those other third world countries ain't got FS1 pouring in. Come on now. They're getting some jacked up feeds.
You've seen the pictures of like Colombia today with the crowd outside. You saw the
Mexico because they only play it at one spot. They only get it pulled up on the billboard.
No, it's the culture, man. You go to Buffalo effing Wild Wings to watch a Tuesday night baseball game or something ridiculous.
It's the culture, duh.
Yeah, but these people go to a giant venue with millions of their friends and get...
When the U.S. was in it, they used to go to Chicago and do that stuff. They had like those big watch parties in Chicago with everybody out there on the lawn or whatever.
I know.
Millennium Park. So yeah, same thing.
I know.
Like soccer fans are just weird. Like they do that shit. Like I'm all about it. I'm all about that. Like I love the party atmosphere. Like I'm totally with that. You know.
I'm just saying you're saying you're not into it and stuff like that.
I'm just not like too much into it.
I'm telling you why you should be because of that stuff.
I'm into it because of the fans.
You're like, oh, who's playing Monday Night Football? Let's go to the bar and watch it so we can be around people. Now imagine you go to a venue where there's a million people outside, and that when your team scores, you register an earthquake.
Like I would love to go to a World Cup game.
You register an earthquake
because I like the crowd, like aspect of it. Like everybody's loud and rambunctious. I like that. You know, just stand up the entire time, getting loud. Like I'm always the guy trying to start the slow clap.
You can't start the slow clap in a World Clap game because they're singing, they're dancing, they're clapping, they're cleaning their locker rooms when they get eliminated.
Oh, hats off to Japan. You guys get an award. I don't even know what award I'm going to give you,
but I told you about that. Was it Senegal? Like one of the African nations. I think it was Senegal.
Yeah, their fans.
Their fans cleaned the stadium before they lost the game, and then all the fans stayed and cleaned the stadium, and picked up all the trash before they left. And then Japan does the locker room. You know, so. That's what's awesome about World Cup. That's nations on nations.
Yeah, no, I like that part, like the people part, but I just don't like the game part. Soccer doesn't really do a whole lot for me.
You were excited today. See, that's the thing. You were excited.
But I was excited during the penalty kicks.
You like that ending.
And some of that might have been forced.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the. I was really bored. I was trying to be nice to you. I was trying to support you.
You even said earlier that you were trying to I was just joking around with my screaming back there. You weren't joking. You were like, "Go!"
Oh no, I was doing the goal thing because Ethan and I are limp. They were like, "What?" that not an awesome? The guy shoots it from 40 yards out and almost scores. Corner kick, puts it in there. The guy heads it in.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Was that not solid?
Yeah, it was.
By the way, in the 92nd minute, 2 minutes of oh my god.
Wow. I agree. It was pretty good.
That would be there's not even an equivalent in American sports, but that would be like a last second touchdown. Like, remember how excited you got when Minnesota and the Saints
This past year?
in the playoffs?
Yeah.
When the guy missed the tackle. Remember how excited you were for that?
And the memes. I was more excited for the next day when the
Well,
memes came out.
the best meme ever was some people are harder impressed, and you got that guy in the stands that just got his arms crossed and like totally oblivious to the guy. Like,
He's on the winning team. You're like,
he was rooting for him, and the guy's running in front of him, and he's just in the background with his arms crossed, just looking like angry. Like, yeah, do something good for me.
like great, now I gotta go buy another ticket. This bullshit.
I know, right? You know, so but that would be like the closest equivalent, and it's not even the same equivalent. Like you saw the Colombian fans, like it was.
Oh yeah, they were stoked. I would have been stoked too if I was at a Colombian watch party in my Colombian gear.
When was the last time your team fought hard the whole time, came back in the 92nd minute, lost in penalty kicks because of some awesome saves, and you saw players cry?
I'm a fan of sports teams from DFW. I don't get very many of those moments. So, I mean, 2011, never forget, 7 years ago.
When the Cardinals went to the Super Bowl, you know, I had season tickets for 100 years and everything, and I was like, I didn't cry or nothing, but I was like, I understand why people get emotional, you know? Because it was exciting, it was new, it was exciting, but I was like, I can understand why grown men cry right now. I didn't. Because I was, I'm Mr. Stoic, but
I did shed a small tear when the Mavs won, just because I had no faith that they would win.
Yeah, D-backs won, and I was like, oh yay, like ooh.
The Rangers, I cried. Well, actually, I didn't cry. I angrily yelled for about 30 minutes when Nelson Cruz missed that ball, and then I followed that up the next day by crying the entire 9 innings because I knew like we already lost. You know, kind of like the same way the Razorback fans felt last week. After missing that, and then
series.
The Beavers won.
Yeah, you always. Did you see that thing? I was gonna send it to you. Did you see the girl was flashing the 2 Razorback players?
Really? We have another flasher.
Yeah. And so like people were like, oh, she distracted them from the ball falling between them. Yeah, it was something. I'm assuming it wasn't a joke. I didn't read it, but I saw.
Did they just Photoshop the chick from Vegas?
I didn't read it. I just saw the headline and everything, and I was like, I don't even want to read this. Like, if the 2 players missed a ball that dropped between them because of that, they're stupid. But that's the thing with sports is a bad thing happens and you're like, oh, you have, like I was telling you today when Colombia scored, I was like, this is tougher on England right now because they were literally 30 seconds from winning the game when they give up the goal. Now they have to recover from it.
And they did. They good recovery. I was surprised. Anyways, great show today, Steve. Finally up here in our office.
Yeah, it's a lot more
studios. It's a lot more comfortable. Look forward
loud.
to
no
everything.
Cats.
Yeah, no cats, no dogs. This is good stuff.
Sort of, no dogs.
Anyways, got a lot of cool stuff coming up this week. Don't forget, we do have the racing videos going up on GetStartProduction.com as well as our YouTube page.
And the firework video's up. If you're not going to see fireworks tomorrow night, you have one online for you.
There you go. Just crank that up on the old boob tube there and watch away with your family and friends while you're out there drinking beer. Be safe. Don't drink and drive or do anything stupid.
America.
Guys, wear rubber, whatever you got to do. I don't know. I feel like I'm in the military now, giving out our weekend safety briefs.
Don't get arrested.
All right, guys.
Do stupid things.
Make sure you have a plan when you go out drinking. Don't do stupid things. Whenever
don't act like assholes.
I know you're gonna be at parties this week. If you see drugs, just say no. Well, let's see. You got 3 days off. Cocaine, pretty easy to have the system. All right, you can probably do a little cocaine. No, I don't know. How long does it take cocaine to get out of the system? I don't even know.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm not up on that. If I answered really quick, like, I don't know, 7 days, like, would you be like, what?
I don't know, 4 days, 3 if you're lucky. What?
lot shorter than
If your
pot.
drug test is the next day, you won't even pick it up. That's that 2 to 3 days
yeah.
where he starts fucking you.
Yeah, it's still in your. Yeah, it's like, you know, when you're drinking at 3 a.m. and you're all hammered and you're still hungover at 7 a.m. You're like, I'm not gonna fail an alcohol test. I'm still drunk.
That's when you just wake up and you like just shotgun like 2 beers early in the morning. That way it gives you that buzz to get by the rest of the day.
Little tip for y'all on Thursday morning
Yeah,
for work.
little tip for you guys going to work on Thursday. Just shotgun a beer,
yeah,
just pound one on the way to work.
Send the links, subscribe to the YouTube page, like Gestalka's production.
We're on iTunes, so make sure you check us out. Podbean, Spotify, we're
Tell
everywhere.
your friends.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mamas, hide your wife, hide your kids. We're raping everybody, raping your little ear holes. That's what we're doing out here on the Main Event Podcast. Because you know why? We're fucking America, and we can do that and get away with it.
America.
Unless Roger Goodell was our president, because then he would suspend us for 6 months. So God bless you, God bless the troops, and God bless America. We out.